NewsX will be on top of this, getting you every update as far as the Twisha case is concerned. And now moving on. An IndiGo Airbus A321 operating flight 6E6017 from Bengaluru to Chennai was forced to undertake an emergency evacuation after smoke was detected in the cockpit and cabin. According to the Ministry of Civil Aviation, the incident occurred after pushback when the aircraft began taxiing. The crew immediately initiated an emergency evacuation using all escape slides to safely deboard passengers. And joining me with more details on this is Atul Ranjan. Atul, what can you share with our viewers?
Well, absolutely, it was a major security situation that arose yesterday in the evening when IndiGo aircraft operating from Bengaluru to Chennai was filled with smoke and some pungent smell as soon as the aircraft was, taxiing on the runway. This happened immediately after the pushback, the usual process that happens when an aircraft is supposed to take over after pushback, when the aircraft went taxiing on the runway. That is when the moment when the passengers observed a dark smoke coming out both in the cabin as well as in the cockpit as well, and that is when the whole situation a sheer grip entire flight of the IndiGo. Now what we're given to learn is that this has happened obviously at the Kempegowda International Airport, and what we're given to learn is also that immediately after the situation arose, the cabin crew displayed a great sense of situational awareness, and immediately all the emergency slides were put in place and evacuation was carried out. Now, immediately after the incident, the IndiGo spokesperson says that the authorities were informed, and thereafter an alternate flight was arranged for the affected passengers to be carried to their destination, that is Chennai. Yeah.
Atul, is there any word from airport authorities on this?
Well, what we are given to understand is that DGCA has taken cognizance of the matter, and they have initiated probe into what may have led to this whole situation, and possibly, and also the DGCA has ordered IndiGo to ground the aircraft, the affected aircraft, and look for and be rightfully inspected and rectify whatever shortcomings that could have been the possible cause in the aircraft. Obviously, two passengers have been injured in this, the whole situation that has happened. But as of now, we don't really have a clarity of what exactly, may have caused the smoke to suddenly in the flight.
All right, Atul, stay on. Now, during the evacuation, viewers, two passengers suffered minor injuries. The aircraft registered as VTME has now been grounded for inspection and rectification, while the DGCA has launched an investigation into the incident. So, Atul, two passengers were mildly injured. What can you tell us on their condition?
Condition is very stable as of now, as mentioned earlier, that they suffered only minor injuries during the evacuation process. As I said, when the smoke erupted in the cabin, obviously what we're given to understand also is that a good number of the passengers were child and elderly passengers who were obviously really scared, and a real fear grip all these passengers. What they have also been heard from different passengers as soon as the flight started, the smoke started coming is what we have heard from different passengers. And according to the passengers as well, the doors were immediately opened and they were able to get out. However, because of the rush and the fear, a lot of the passengers were rushing and trying to bypass each other to get out of the aircraft immediately. And during that situation, during that whole evacuation, emergency evacuation rather, two passengers suffered minor injuries. However, they have been, they were immediately after the incident were sent for medical help, and where they are recovering and they are expected to be discharged very soon. And obviously, DGCA has initiated proceedings in the matter.
All right, Atul, thanks for joining me.